Hi, my name is Morgan. I'm a senior at the University of Alabama, and my major is event planning, and I'm from the Northern Virginia area. I grew up in a loving Christian home, probably the picture-perfect version of a military family. We didn't move a lot. My dad deployed a couple times, but we pretty much stayed in the same area. When I was in 7th grade, my parents separated due to just several reasons, one of which being infidelity, and from then on I pretty much grew up by myself, having to raise my younger brother. So there was a lot of hurt from that, and just a lack of attention. My dad moved out and my mom was not around, would go weeks without seeing, not weeks, but definitely several days without seeing my mom, or just not being in contact with her while living in the same house. Probably about my sophomore year of high school, I started seeing a guy who, at first it was really great, we were really good together, and then it took a turn for the worst probably about November of my sophomore year. Things started getting physically violent, and I was in a sexually abusive relationship for about 9 months, where I was forced to do some things that I did not want to do. Didn't have the willpower to say no, just because I thought that's how it was supposed to be. Because of the abuse that I went through in my sophomore year, I tried to hide the pain through alcohol, through cutting myself. The thing that worked until it hit me that that's what I was doing was just making myself so incredibly busy. I did band, I did drama, I did anything. I played travel soccer. I did everything that I could to not think about everything I could to distract myself, to not think about what had happened. I'd blocked it out of my mind and didn't think about it until months after the fact. When I realized that that's what I was doing, it was a very painful realization, both physically and emotionally, because you don't want to know that you're doing something that's harming your body. I dove into just bettering my relationship with God. I surrounded myself with people that would better my walk with God. I became a student leader at my church, and through that I had a support system that just supported me and helped me in any and every way that I needed to move on from the things that had happened to me in the past. Gave me the family that I had needed, that I didn't have at that time. So definitely just made a family out of the people that were in my life and supporting me in a positive way versus in a negative way. So I knew that at some point, for me to have a healthy relationship with my mom in particular, that I was gonna have to just accept and move past. I talked to her a little bit about the way that she was feeling and I also talked to my dad and the way that he was feeling about the situations that occurred that just made their marriage end pretty much. And from that I was able to just forgive my mom in particular for all the hurt, and I came to a realization that a lot of the times when she was gone was just to make sure that my siblings and I had a lifestyle that was okay enough, that we weren't struggling financially. So I think that is where when I was able to forgive my mom, was when I realized that the things that she was doing wasn't out of spite for us as much as it was to try to help us. I think a big part of me didn't exactly blame my dad for a lot of the divorce. There have definitely been instances where I've had to forgive my dad and just the way that he reacted towards some things. Probably the biggest thing for me was just being able to understand where he came from with like the mindset that he was thinking, and just understanding like he lost a lot of time between being in the military and from the divorce in general, and realizing that he wanted the time back that he didn't always have, and that was pretty much taken from him. I don't think I realized how much I forgave my ex-boyfriend until we had a mutual friend pass away this summer. I think the best way that I showed forgiveness to him was just being able to be supportive for him, even when I didn't have to be when his friend died. And also just praying a lot was the biggest thing for me, and digging into just word in general and realizing that like you're not going to be happy in your life if you don't forgive someone. And I'm a strong believer of second chances, and I think everyone deserves somewhat of a second chance. I would say that the biggest thing that a person who is struggling with forgiveness needs in their life is love, and to be poured into, and to just continue to pray about whatever it is that you are needing forgiveness for or forgiving for.